The sun had barely risen when the nation's political elite gathered for what was expected to be a routine parliamentary session. Instead, South Africa was treated to an explosive clash of ideologies and personalities that will be remembered for years. The spotlight fell squarely on Patriotic Alliance leader Gayton Mckenzie and Economic Freedom Fighters, EFF, Commander-in-Chief Julius Malama, whose early morning exchange turned the National Assembly into a political battlefield. What began as a standard debate over public safety and economic reform quickly devolved into a no-holds-barred confrontation. Mckenzie, known for his streetwise rhetoric and unapologetically blunt approach, came armed with facts, fury, and a mission to expose what he called the theater of deception led by Julius Malama and the EFF. Without mincing words, Mckenzie took the floor and immediately turned the temperature in the chamber up several notches. "You speak of economic freedom," Mckenzie began. "But your life is a monument to elite hypocrisy. You wear Gucci while the children in Limpopo go to school without shoes. You talk revolution while dining in Sandton. Who are you fooling?" Gasps echoed across the room as Mckenzie tore into Malama's public image, accusing him of hijacking the pain of the poor for personal gain. "You scream about colonialism, but you behave like a colonizer, lording over the EFF like a king while pretending to be a servant of the people," Mckenzie continued. Attempts by EFF members to interject were quickly shut down by the Speaker of the House, who allowed Mckenzie to continue uninterrupted as he hammered home his points with precision and passion. True to form, Julius Malama attempted to hit back with his trademark defiance, labeling Mckenzie as a sellout and accusing him of licking the boots of white monopoly capital. But Mckenzie was unshaken. "You don't scare me, Julius," he responded, staring directly at the EFF leader. "You can't bully me into silence. I've lived the life you pretend to understand. I've been in prison. I've built businesses. I've fed people. What have you done besides shouting in red overalls and destroying what little hope our youth have?" The chamber descended into a mix of cheers, gasps, and stunned silence. Even long-time parliamentarians appeared taken back by the intensity and clarity of Mckenzie's arguments. At the heart of the debate was a fundamental difference in political identity. Mckenzie, a self-made businessman with a controversial past, positioned himself as a pragmatic reformer. Malama, the firebrand revolutionary, has built his brand on populist rhetoric and radical economic transformation. But Mckenzie flipped the script, accusing Malama of being all noise and no results. He referenced failed EFF-run municipalities, the party's questionable funding, and its inability to implement meaningful development programs. "People don't eat slogans. They don't sleep under red berets. They need jobs, safety, dignity. You're too busy building your brand to build your country," Mckenzie thundered. Within minutes, clips of the showdown went viral. Twitter, X, Facebook, and TikTok were flooded with reactions, most of them hailing Mckenzie's performance as a long-overdue reality check for MMA. Political analysts were quick to weigh in. Renowned commentator Masisa tweeted, "Mckenzie did not just challenge Malama, he deconstructed him. This was not just political theater, it was a surgical demolition." Public sentiment followed suit, with many ordinary South Africans praising Mckenzie for voicing frustrations that had been simmering for years. The hashtags #McKenzieVisima, #ParliamentClash, and #EFFExpose trended across platforms with users sharing their favorite lines and moments. While it remains to be seen whether this moment will translate into electoral momentum for the Patriotic Alliance, one thing is clear: the traditional grip that Malama and the EFF have held over radical discourse in South Africa is being challenged openly and aggressively. Gayton Mckenzie may not yet command the numbers in Parliament, but today he commanded the attention of a nation. In a political landscape often dominated by empty sound bites, his verbal assault on Malama was detailed, calculated, and unflinchingly personal. This morning's session wasn't just a heated exchange. It was a statement, a warning shot. And for Julius Malama, it may have been the first true political reckoning he's faced on the parliamentary floor.